Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to look at the beginning of the ocean. So we're going to study how that you can collect data on the ocean, what oceans are they, how the oceans are connected. We're not going to go very deep, but we will look at some of the basics of this incredibly huge field. First thing we're going to talk about is collecting data, because the ocean is still very mysterious to people. We don't live in the ocean, we don't live on the ocean, and so we live beside the ocean at best, and the ocean is such a huge part of the earth. About 71% of the earth's surface is covered by oceans, and they go down deeper than the highest mountains go up. So there's so many things that we do not know and that we don't understand. So collecting data about the various places in the world that we don't have access to helps us in that understanding. So the first thing that we're going to review is sonar. So if you're going to simply get the topography of the bottom of the ocean, one of the ways we do it, since the water would impair satellites from space to see down into the water, the way you would figure out what the shape of the bottom of the sea would be is by sound waves that could easily go through the water and then be bounced back normally to ships or submersibles, submarines. And so the main one that is used is side scan sonar. So anything that is a hill or even a bump or valley on the floor can be seen three-dimensionally if you look at it from the side. If you look at it straight from the top, it may be disguised. You're not quite sure what you're looking at, but if you're looking at it from the side, you can definitely see a hill. You're also going to get lots of data from floats. So these buoys that are in various places, even very, very deep water, you can have these floating buoys that's got lots of equipment on it that is collecting data about various things, temperature, the gases concentration, salt concentration, all kinds of things. The currents, how strong the currents are there, wind speed above the ocean that would participate in waves. All of that is put these collecting instruments are on these floats. Also, we've talked about JSON and the Ocean Surface Topography mission, which is showing you the height and depth of the sea surface, so measuring the waves, etc. And then all of this data is put into computer models so that we are then trying to make sense of what we're measuring. We've also looked at the amount of water in our very first lesson, that since most of the earth is water, and then most of that water is salt water. So about 90% of the earth's water is ocean water, salt water, with only a little bit left for glaciers and groundwater and atmospheric water and rivers and lakes, etc. So these big bodies of water are all connected. So one ocean flows into the next, one sea flows into the next, and most of them are named based upon where they were. And historically, if you have a body of water next to people who wrote about that body of water, they gave it names. We also, when we were talking about climate, is that the sea level can rise as the frozen water would melt. So if you were to have a warming planet, you would expect to see the surface of the water rise, so the sea level rise. And we've seen that within just about 10 years, we're getting about a 3 millimeter per year rise lately. And then the hypothesis is this will continue. If you've got frozen water that's melting, that water has to go somewhere. It's going to go into the low areas, which are these reservoirs for seawater, and then that would have to increase the seawater level. You've got several oceans. Most people can name the Pacific Ocean, which is west of California, and the Atlantic Ocean, which is east of Virginia, North Carolina, there are several other large ones. There is the Indian Ocean, which is between Australia and India, that whole area. And then you've got a northern ocean and a southern ocean. So the southern ocean is simply called the Southern Ocean. This is the ocean that surrounds Antarctica. And the northern ocean is called the Arctic. And the Arctic Ocean is around North America, for instance, northern Canada. There's an ocean above that. Over past centuries, that has been frozen. Now you're seeing that open up, and you can actually have shipping on the top of the world, which has never happened before. And then we need to mention eventually that the atmosphere in the oceans interacts. We talked about how that the temperatures of the oceans can control weather, and that happens, but the ocean is a reservoir to absorb carbon dioxide gas. And so what happens as carbon dioxide gas is absorbed, you're getting carbonic acid in the ocean, and the acidity level of the ocean is raising, which does weird things to, say, reefs. It can bleach reefs to where they once that was thriving with life is now dead. So one thing controls another thing controls another thing. And we'll continue this study later.